iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the first race of ASRC for Season 2. The opener is at Daytona International Speedway. This track holds a lot of important events throughout the season, including the Daytona 500, 24 Hours of Daytona, and of course, this race for the Sportsman Series. I'm here with Turn 3 Racing Network, here with my brother Carson. Carson, you want to say hi?
Hello, Brett. I'm excited to be here. Excited for a great race here tonight at Daytona for the ASRC Sportsman Series. It should be a lot of fun.
I agree, Carson. It should be a lot of fun. We have a lot to look forward to with this race. I believe we have around 27 cars here in total as of right now, Carson. So a great field of cars. So I am super excited to see what kind of racing we get out of this. Overall, super speedway racing, Carson. A lot of action, a lot of pack racing, and of course the big one. Are you thinking that we're going to see the big one? And if so, how soon?
Oh yeah, Brett. I think for sure we will see a big one. I don't think it'll be soon in the race. I think we'll have smaller wrecks early on, but toward the end when people get aggressive and they're trying to battle for every position, trying to get that win, we're going to see a big one right at the end.
Yeah, I agree, Carson. The last time ASRC was at a super speedway, they only had one yellow, and that yellow came at the very end. And of course, coming to the checkered, they had a big one. So we'll have to see how they race here tonight at Daytona for the season opener. A lot on the line, a lot to shake out. We saw Eric Papineau win last season, so we'll see if he can make it 2 for 2 at Daytona, or if we'll have someone new, as we just barely see the front of that car for Eric Papineau. We'll look at the scoring time here for the best lap. Of course, laps not the biggest indicator of who can do well at Daytona. It shows that you can work in a pack with the top 3 cars all tying for the time in there. And while we got a minute, Carson, I'll talk about the division. So as you can see on the scoring board, there are 2 different colors for numbers, the red and the blue. This is because there is 2 different divisions in this series. So the cap is at 2,700 for the blue division that will be racing for their own championship. It's everyone that has an I rating 2699 or below will be racing for one championship, whereas The red division, or I like to say the overall championship, is the other division. So any car with the red number has above that I rating and will be going for their own / overall championship. We could have a blue division driver win both championships, but last season proved that differently, as the one car of Tanner Tallarico did end up winning the championship. But the top 3 in the blue division from last season did get moved up to the red division, so we'll see a brand new blue division champion this season. So be sure to tune in to this series, as it is 20 races long. So we'll be here 20 weeks of the calendar year. Should be a good time.
Yeah, Brett, and with the divisions being fluid, like you said, we could see people moving up divisions, or I don't think anyone can move down, can they?
Not here at ASRC, Carson. We like to only promote people up when they're deserving, so no one will be moved down and demoted here.
But yeah, with that fluidity, we can see a lot of different changes throughout the season to the championship race.
Yes, we will, Carson. As we look here at the end of practice, Tim Rogers will lead the way in practice with the overall times and 27 cars taking a lap time, Carson. So an impressive number of cars taking a lap in here tonight. It should be a good one. As we get ready to click over to qualifying, be sure to leave a comment in the chat if you have a favorite driver, anyone you want to see, because it should be a good one. We'll try and catch a couple cars on track for qualifying. We'll see how smooth they can be on the wheel to try and get this best lap, because it's all about how smooth they can and how much momentum they can carry on track.
Yeah, Brett, with 28 cars, I might rethink my big one prediction. There might be one earlier with that many cars, but I want to throw it over to you and ask, how many cautions do you think we'll have here tonight?
So caution-wise, Carson, I think we'll have only 2, if that, for cautions. I feel like these cars can keep it clean and keep it facing the right direction. So while these cars get ready to start their qualifying laps, we'll go over some race information here for the ASRC Sportsman season opener. Of course, we're at the Daytona International Speedway, a big 2.5-mile super speedway. We're looking at 73 degrees temperatures here today, a nice cool night. It should transition over into nighttime, Carson, which will be awesome to see under the lights here at Daytona, these cars. Of course, ASRC Sportsman Series is presented by the following: Tagare Property Management, PepsiCo, and QuickTime Motorsports Media. Be sure, if you're looking for any sort of property in the South Carolina region, be sure to check out Tagare Property Management. Also, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe here at Turn 3 Racing Network. As well as, if you want to be a part of the action here at ASRC, be sure to type in that URL at the bottom for the American Sim Racing Club and join the action out on track. We got a couple, I believe, pit stalls open here tonight, Carson, for some people that want to tune on in and be a part of this. Be sure to come. This isn't a league, this is a club here at American Sim Racing Club. As we will go look at qualifying, Carson, maybe we'll see a couple cars on track. Looks like we got the 43 car of Eric Papanow. He was the pole sitter from last year. Maybe we'll go to him here on track and see where he can end up. As we'll get the tower going in qualifying. No one has completed a lap as Eric Papanow gets this 43 machine wound on up out on track. Let's see where he can line up. As he comes to take his first lap there. Both laps against the wall. So this will be the 43 car's money lap, as he chose to throw away his first lap and still run against the wall. As he comes out of turn 2 for the final time, we'll see where he goes. Keeps it nice and close to that double yellow line coming off the corner. We'll see if that carries just enough momentum. As he goes through turns 3, coming to turn 4 for the final time. We'll see how he shakes on out in the standing. See if throwing away the first lap was the way to go, or if he will slot in mid-pack here as the 43 comes across the line here and takes the checkered flag for qualifying. It puts him up to P1, Carson, so that was worth it. Eric Papanow to the top of the boards. As I say that, I jinx him, and Andrew Bird now and the 223 car goes to the top of the board. As I say that, Dave Payton goes to the top of the board in the 38 K&N machine. So we're seeing all sorts of different cars out here, Carson, jump to the top of this leaderboard.
Yeah, Brett, and what I noticed, what sticks out to me is the lap times, all so close together. It just shows how good all these drivers are and how competitive and great this race will be here tonight.
Yep, I agree, Carson, because it's a game of inches and millimeters, especially here at Daytona with things happening so fast, and especially qualifying. You just got to be so smooth on this wheel and to carry all that momentum. As an interesting thing developing here as I'm looking at the leaderboard, Carson, top 5 all red division drivers. We'll have to keep that in mind and see if that matters at all, who people work with throughout this race here tonight. As we have about 30 seconds left here in qualifying. I believe we have a couple cars out on track. We have the, looks like the 43 machine of Tim Rogers. We'll go to him as he is actually slowing on up. We'll maybe go to the 28 car, Kyle Munson. We'll talk about him for a second. So Kyle Munson here, different paint scheme from last season. Last season he was running a green and black machine. I nicknamed it the green machine. Now he's out here in an orange car. He won the division of the blue division drivers last season, now promoted to the red division. Let's see where he stacks up on his second lap here. Goes up to P13 on the speed chart, so he will start mid-pack here tonight. We'll see how this 28 car does, as this is his first time at Daytona. Wasn't out here for Daytona, so Dave Payton will start on the pole here, Carson, as drivers are starting to grid. We'll go through the grid starting order. As we have Dave Payton in the 38 K&M machine starting on pole. To his outside, the 223 of Andrew Bird starting inside second row. Eric Papanow in the 43. To his outside, the 93 car of Andrew Payne. And rounding out your top 5, Brian Rainville in the 955 machine.
Then starting in 6th place, the highest starting red division or blue division driver, excuse me, the 974 of Adam Smith. In the 7th position is the 75 car of Justin Callahan. In 8th place is the 710 machine of Dan Parmley. In 9th place is the 10 car of Kyle Deach, I think. I'll have to ask Kyle Carl after race, excuse me. Butcher that one. And 10th place is the 20 car Skip Gandy.
Starting P11th is Alan Duranico in the 109. Starting to his outside is Mike Witt in the 26 car. As I try and get the overlay to click to the next. Oh, here we go. And starting 13th is Kyle Munson in the 28 last season pole winner, or blue division winner. Starting 14th is John Sinu in the 86. And rounding out your top 15 is John Kane in the 29. '16th is Garrett Austin in the 81. 17th is Tim Rogers in the 48. 18th is John DeMeester in the 2. 19th is Tanner Tallarico in the 1. 20th is Ron Hart in the 051. 21st is Cody Green in the 22. Starting 22nd is Richard Pruitt in the 24. Starting P23 is Chris Harvey in the 93. 24th is Rex Hoyle in the 54. Rolling out 25th is Nathan Henry in the 59. 26th is Jamie Beasley in the 4. Brad Pranger brings it home starting in the 151 in 27th. And rounding out your field here tonight is Nathan Goot in the 5 car.
Some new names we got to get used to here, Brad.
Yep, as we went through that grid, we'll definitely have to talk to a few drivers. Maybe we can pull them on up at some time during this race to talk to them. But as we look at the leaders here, getting ready to go green. As we see the 38 K&M machine will lead us to green. I have a feeling, Carson, these guys will get single file as quickly as possible with this start. Trying to as some cars are electing to start out of the tail, as we see here.
And Brett, can we expect to see teammates pairing up here for drafting runs?
Oh yeah, Carson, we can definitely expect teammates to be pairing up and trying to work together, as we do got a couple teams in the field here. You'll definitely see certain people wanting to work with fellow drivers with the same caliber. The question I have for everyone at home is, will red drivers try and work with each other? Will they try and work with other blue division drivers, try and distance themselves in points from other division drivers, or do you trust the red drivers more? So a whole bunch of things to think about here, as the lights are extinguished on the pace car. So we will be going green flag racing next time by here at the 2.5 mile super speedway of Daytona International Speedway. Yeah, I have a feeling people would single file out here very quickly, try and get themselves in a good position and try and ride around. As Daytona's known for a few things, Carson. High speeds, close door-to-door racing, and of course the big ones. So we'll have to see. I know 2 out of the 3 are going to happen tonight, but I think 3 out of the 3 will happen, with this being the season opener here tonight.
Yeah, Brad, I think we might see more than you 2 cautions. We'll have to see, but I'm sure the drivers are really excited, a little nervous, but they're ready to get this race rolling.
I agree. As they come out of turn 4 for the final time, we will be going green here, as we'll wait for the pace car to pull off of pit road. Then we'll wait for the 38 machine of Dave Payne to fire off whenever. The lights are out. The flagman's waving the green flag. We are green flag racing here at Daytona for the season opener at ASRC.
And man, not a good start for the top lane.
Yeah, as Andrew Burr has no help whatsoever. He's going to fall back faster than a rock falling through a quarry, as this inside line's already forming up way better than that's top side. As actually Eric Papanow jumps out to the high side and is going to try and pass Dave Payne by his lonesome. We'll see how this works out for the 43.
Yeah, it looks like they caught his draft, and it looks out like they'll pack the field back up again and work out well.
Yep, as they come off of turn 4 now, Dave Payne will lead the inside lane, and I believe this lap, but Eric Papanow is not going to make it easy on that high side. I believe Eric Papanow actually led that lap, Carson, so lap number 1 goes to Eric Papanow to lead a lap.
I think, Brad, he's definitely one of the drivers here to watch tonight. He's usually really fast in this series.
I agree. He did get the job done last season here at Daytona. We'll see if he can make it 2 for 2. As we look kind of mid-pack here at the 710 machine of Dan Parmalee here, trying to get a good view of this pack. Most people kind of strung on out, biding their time, waiting to see who they want to work with. Maybe get a little action shot here on the 710.
As we got, looks like Chris Harvey has fallen out of the draft and he has fallen to the back of the field.
Yep, it looks like a strategic move out of that 97 car. Thinking about staying out of the big one if it were to come here soon. So trying to save that car and drop to the back where he can just ride around here for the next 70 laps or so.
And yeah, Brett, and me and you have talked about Chris Harvey and how he's always so good at the end of the race, saving his speed. So that's probably a plan that was planned the whole way through. It's probably a planned move, and he's just going to wait till toward the end of the race to make his moves.
Yep, I agree. As Eric Papanow has actually dropped to this inside line, Carson now leads the way on the inside line with Dave Payton pushing him behind him. That moves up Andrew Bird to lead the top side, with Adam Smith there behind him in that 974 machine.
And with all these new drivers here tonight, Brett, there's definitely a good chance we could see a first-time winner in the ASRC Sportsman Series.
I agree, Carson. A few new faces, but also a few familiar faces, as this is season 2 of the Sportsman Series. This season is presented by Tagare Property Management. And Carson, these drivers may be riding around for a little bit here because there is a competition caution on lap 20, so most of these drivers will be just making sure that they can bring their car home in one piece to that competition caution, but that doesn't mean they still won't try and lead a lap and get a bonus point. As I say that, we see Dave Payne go to the high side and probably will clear Eric Papanow here going into turn 1.
And Brett, the interesting thing with that caution being early like that is where we see guys not decide to come in and leave tires or anything under that caution period.
I think we will see cars fill up on fuel, because I believe after that they may just be able to make it. But you're right there. There is a limited set amount of tires. I believe there's only 2 set over the wall. So 3 including the ones on the car right now. So that means they'll have to use them wisely. So I could see some fuel or tire strategy come into play if people try and just take fuel to try and come out towards the front of this field, as track position will be very key for that restart.
Yeah, Brett, and we've seen, at least last season, we saw multiple times where guys did decide not to come in during competition caution to get bonus points for leading laps, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again here tonight.
Yep, I agree. As right now, Dave Payne, of course, leads the way in this race, as well as the overall field. But Justin Callahan, now up to P3, is leading the blue division. But he's got a couple blue drivers around him here, so we'll have to see how this works out. That's at 75. Quality Care Car is leading the way for this blue division. As everyone's kind of spread on out for the most part, Carson. Just trying to make sure no one's really pushing too aggressive. Just trying to make sure that they can make their cars last to this competition caution, like I said before.
Yeah, Brett, I'm kind of surprised by some of by the lack of aggressive moves here. I think, like you said, everyone's content just to get to the competition caution. Probably is the best approach.
Yep, I agree. If we look back a little bit further in the field here, where the cars are more single filed out, we got the likes of Andrew Payne back here, Ron Hart, Tanner Tallarico, all just biding their time, waiting for this competition caution to try and make sure that they don't get caught up in anything too early here in this race.
Oh, here we go. We got a wreck in the back. Alan Duranko, I think, is the one who is spinning wildly.
All right, so we have our first caution of the race, Carson, on lap 10. We'll go back in this replay, try and see what happened as we ride on board with this 109 car. Oh, looks like the 81 had to check up on the high side. The 81. And then, oh man, hard impacts for the 109 as they continue to bounce around. And we see the likes of Tanner Tallarico just squeaking on by through, but we'll have to see what happened there. Maybe get another shot here. As not too many cars were collected in that, Carson. That could have been a lot bigger than it actually was. Most drivers do a good job at getting around that, but some damaged cars nonetheless, like the 109, as we see that Logitech machine with heavy damage, missing both bumper covers.
Yeah, Brett, it could have been a lot bigger because it actually started up at the front with the 75 car Justin Callahan. I think he got bumped in a kind of accordion with brake checking, and then it led to that wreck in the back. So it definitely could have been bigger, and I'm very fortunate it was not.
Yeah, I believe it started with Garrett Austin. I think he may have to lift or something weird. And then Rex Hoyle got to his front bumper, and the rest was history as some big contact.
And we definitely see the accordion effect every once in a while at a super speedway like Daytona.
As we see about half the field coming down pit road, Carson. Interesting move. I wonder if anyone took tires. I know a couple cars had to repair damage in that, but
yeah, I'm surprised more cars didn't come down.
yeah, I agree, Carson. As
I would think that you'd want to take the free caution and get tires in field, but like you're saying, it could be definitely strategy of wanting to save the tires since they only have a limited set as well.
So Carson, with a little bit of time here, do you want to maybe talk to maybe the race leader of Dave Payne, see what he has to say here tonight?
Sure thing, Brett.
Alrighty, we'll go pull him on down and see what he has to say.
Hey Dave, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Brett.
Alright, Dave, how's that car doing? What's it like with that,
This old 38 K&N Chevy Camaro's tuned up tonight, Brett.
Alright, that's what we like to hear. Out here leading the way, got the pole. How'd you do it, and how's it? It seems like you and Papin are working together pretty good.
But as of right now, the comp caution.
Yeah, you know, I went with the old strategy. Put the foot down and turn left, and it seemed to work. And Paps is pretty good at, better at pushing than I am.
It seemed
like once he got behind me, we were able to gap the field. When I was behind him, I wasn't really pushing it too hard because we're on lap 12 or whatever, 10. But you know, he was a little bit better at pushing. So we'll see if I can keep him behind me before this stage break.
Alrighty, well, Dave, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we get back racing?
Yeah, quick shout out to Andrew and everybody here at ASRC. I know it's a lot of work because I'm a part of the team, so thanks to Andrew for putting all the work in. Thank you, Brett, in Turn 3 for broadcasting us, and let's go.
Alrighty, Dave, best of luck to you.
Thanks, Brett.
As that was Dave Payne there, getting ready to go green on this race here. As he launches here, and we are back racing here at Daytona. Dave Payne leads the way with Eric Pappen out to his high side. Looks like most people are working together here, trying to push their line to the front. As there's only about 7 laps till this competition caution. We'll see how aggressive, see if the aggression level goes up any at all. There is no fast repair, so the likes of like Allen in the 109 car with that heavy damage, he is most likely done for tonight's race. So a bummer to be out this early, but it means you got to take care of your cars with no fast repairs available in the ASRC Sportsman Series.
So, Brad, do you think pitting under that first caution, do you think that would have been too early to use a set of tires, or do you think would you have waited till this competition caution here in a few laps?
Yeah, Carson, I would, I think it would be a little bit too early to use some tires. I'd at least like to wait until at least lap 20, if not till lap 40 if a caution comes out then.
So yeah, that's probably the reasoning behind us not seeing more cars pitting early, but I'm still surprised that we didn't see more, but
as we get some cars wrecking in the back of the field, Carson.
Yeah, looks like Nathan Goot, John DeMeester involved, a couple other drivers as well.
As we'll go maybe to the 2 car, wherever they are at. Of John DeMeester, and we'll throw it back here. As already some cars in the wall, it looks like John DeMeester gets maybe right rear tagged with the 955, and then some hard impact with Rex involved. John DeMeester, Andrew Payne just slipping on by through the top of that, so not sure what started that, but we see the end result. Some more cars with some damage here in this race early.
And Brett, we have already hit your caution number.
Yep, we already have 2. The competition caution doesn't count or anything, so.
At least they haven't been big ones yet, but definitely some, maybe too much aggression here early. Guys getting back into the flow of the season, so we'll definitely see settling down at least after the competition caution.
As we see everyone in the field coming on down to pits, Carson, being led by Dave Payne. This might be the competition caution, because I did hear race control saying that if there's a competition, or if there's a yellow around that time, they will count that as the competition caution. So I think that was it.
So No one, so everyone came in, no one stayed out for bonus points?
It looks like it, unless Ron Hart in the 051. I'll check here. Yeah, I believe Ron Hart in the 051 car did not pit that time, so he'll stay out and lead a lap at least. Same with the 86 car of John Cena right behind him, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd be surprised if we didn't see at least one car stay out to try to pick up bonus points. And it just goes to show, Brad, the strategies that are involved, especially with the competition caution, how everyone has to decide what they want to do, if they want tires, fuel, if they want to stay out for points. A lot of strategy comes into play in races like these.
Yeah, I agree, Carson. As the lights are extinguished on the pace car, we'll double them up with Ron Hart leading the way here without taking tires or coming down pit road. So a shake up a little bit in the leaderboard. We'll see how this plays out.
I think coming out of the competition caution here, Brett, we'll see a longer green flag run of people waiting more to make the right moves. I think, kind of like how it is in NASCAR, people are racing to the competition caution. That was kind of the first finish, and now we're going to see them wait for a bit, and then we're going to see them get racy again toward the end of the race. So.
Yep, I agree. As we'll wait for the pace car to jump down pit road, it makes the hard left-hand turn. And now we'll wait for the 051 of Ron Hart to fire off and go green flag. He will have Eric Papanow behind him pushing him with John Cena on the high side. Oh, Dan Parmley has a bad shift there. As actually Carl... Yeah, I have no clue what happened there. The 10 car was all over the place, and then all of a sudden it looked like he was wrecking.
I think a car lagged out or something. I think we had an invisible car because I saw a car on the high line that disappeared before the start. So I don't know what happened there, if he had a flaky connection and he drove through him.
Yeah, that was very weird.
That was really bizarre.
Yeah. As we have the 10 car now down on pit road with some heavy damage, so...
I don't know who it was that was starting in front of Dan Parmley, but whoever it was, I think he was who ended up causing that somehow, some way. But.
Yeah, I think it was the 10 car of Carl Deesh, Carson. As we are 18 laps coming to 19 laps into this 80-lap event, Carson. We might be here for a long night.
Yeah, I didn't expect the caution that quick, but that was a weird one. So maybe we'll let that one slide and they'll get back to some racing after that.
Hopefully. Maybe we can see appearance of the quickie yellow with that being right at the start here. So we'll have to see what these guys do, what the plan is. But this allows some extra time for those cars caught up in that last wreck to get some repairs.
And maybe we'll see the guys who stayed out come in as well.
Yeah, I agree, Carson. We'll have to see what happens, as I believe we're trying to catch this pace car. Wherever the pace car may be at. As we got a few seconds here, Carson, I'll pop up on screen here the schedule here. And looks like a pretty good schedule for the 2022 Sportsman Series. As a lot of variety on tracks here. Couple break weeks in there, but overall excited for this season as there is a 4-race chase at the end of the season. That will determine the champion for each division driver. So each and every one of these drivers is just trying to make the chase for their respective division.
And Brett, I expect we'll see a finish as we did last year, where it comes down to the very last race, the championship race, and the championship will be decided during that final race. I think it'll be really exciting to watch again this year.
Yep, I agree. As the pace car heads down pit road, we wait for Ron Hart to fire us off. He fires on off, and we are green flag racing for the 4th time here tonight.
Now, hopefully we don't have any disappearing cars.
As it looks like we restart a lot better than the last one, Carson. We at least make it into turn 1. You see Ron Hart leading the bottom side, being pushed by John Sinu in the 86. On the outside, we have Eric Papanow being pushed by the 26 car, Mike Witt. We haven't talked too much about that 26 car. Now made his way to the front of this field. We'll see what he has to offer.
And the 2 drivers who stayed out are still holding their own right now, Brett. Maybe that was the right call.
Yeah, I like to think overall the most important thing is track position here at Daytona. Tires will matter as this run goes on, and if you need to make any quick moves. But as of right now, tires don't matter a whole lot. So I agree. I like the call of Ron Hart and John Sinu, both on the inside line 1-2 as of right now. As we look at the YouTube chat section, we got one cheering on Nathan Henry. Nathan Henry involved in an early wreck, so he's out here just hoping to keep the draft and hoping that more cars get him wad up. He's actually holding the draft pretty well without a nose. He is leading the modified division as of right now out there on track, so he's at least keeping up with the pack, so that's all he needs to do in that 59 car. And of course, we got the Roger in the comments saying hello. As we go back up to the front, Eric Papanow has once again jumped to this inside line, now being pushed by Ron Hart.
Hey, Brett, while you're looking in the chat, the 86 car of John Cena got shuffled out of the draft, and now he is falling back in the field.
Or maybe he thought it was getting a little too crazy up there at the front and wants to join that second pack of cars kind of just riding around. As it almost seems like we may have 3 different packs forming up in this race. We of course got this front pack side by side, and we look back a little bit further to the likes of Andrew Payne, Cody Green, and Justin Callahan right around here. And then of course we got in that group as well Kyle Munson, Tanner Tallarico, Tim Rogers, and John Sinu, like we said, that dropped to the back.
Yeah, Brett, that might have been strategic. Maybe he does want to hang back there with Tanner in that group. Wait to see if there's any carnage at the front of the field.
Yep, as we already seen our fair share of carnage so far in this race. But still, it looks like 24 cars out on track of the 28 that jumped in this session.
And we see Ron Hart doing the same thing, so probably a strategic move again there just to drop back and file into one of the to one of the packs further back in the field.
Yeah, an interesting move here. Mike Witt jumped to the inside, but didn't have too much help. That would clear the inside lane to Andrew Burr, so Andrew Burr will lead this lap. Now that puts Skip Gandy in the 20 machine, leading the way on the high side. Nathan Goot getting lapped there, going to the apron. Very gentlemanly to get out of the way of this field, not have to worry about making it 3 wide to get on around him. So good sportsmanship out of that 5 car as he now becomes the first car a lap down in the 23rd position. We say we go on an onboard shot of the likes of Eric Papanow. We'll do the Tagare onboard here for this. Rear-facing shot looking at the field behind him as he goes up to the top side. And looks like the Tagare cars are trying to get in line here. Maybe they can form a power line here.
Yeah, Brett, I was expecting at some point we would see teammates really trying hard to pair up, because usually at these super speedways, that is the tendency.
As you see how much these cars just move in this draft, so a lot to be seen here. We'll go back up to the front. Andrew Burr continues to lead the way here in the 223 car. As we see here, Mike Witt in this 26 car. We'll talk about him a little bit here. Second place on this inside line. He is from Bristol, Tennessee here. Sponsored by PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, and QuickTime Motorsports Media. Part of the Ironman Motorsports clan. So as they go 3 wide here, they'll actually be leading this inside line here once they all fire out. Let's see how this goes for this field. 3 wide already on lap 30, Carson.
Yeah, this is a nervy moment right here, especially for this front pack.
Yep, as it looks like Andrew Burr will get stuck in the sucker hole, but won't be there for too long as he slots back in the 3rd row on this inside. So now we'll talk about our race leader, Mike Witt. So a couple accomplishments for this 26 machine. He is the NIS 2021 Coke 600 winner for some iRacing accomplishments. Same with the 2021 Darlington 500 winner. And he is the 2020 A Open Division champion for his division. So some cool stuff out of this 26 car of Mike Witt. And his goals for this season, as I'm looking at it, just to have fun and being good at it. So maybe if he can continue this run, maybe he can add a win to that. I know he would be super pumped up to get a win in this series, especially early on.
And I think, Brett, he's definitely a driver to watch this year, as he's always improving. We saw that last year. He always got better, so I think this year will be his year to get that win.
As we see almost Jamie Beasley get the outside wall there, getting a little bit loose, and just kept it off it. So we may see the handling on some of these cars starting to go as this run goes on. As we see most cars now getting to the bottom lane. As we come up to a lap car of, it looks like John DeMeester as he gets to the bottom off the track. So some more good sportsmanship out of these lap cars here today. As Nathan Goot will be stuck on the high side, so everyone looks like they will get by in this field. As it looks like Andrew Burr will be all by his lonesome on the high side. We'll see if anyone decides to pick him on up, or if he'll just have to be dropping to the back by his lonesome.
Yeah, it looks like this front pack just single filed on out, so it looks like he'll get shuffled all the way to the back.
Yep, unless someone decides to jump up with him and try and go to the front, but looks like everyone's just trying to ride around for the most part in this race. As we see a big wobble out of John Kane, does a great job at saving it in the 29 car.
And man, if you're left out of the line like that for how Andrew Burr is right now, that's a pretty helpless feeling when you just get kind of hung out there and you can't shuffle back in. It's just kind of how it is at these big super speedway races.
Yep, that is true. As the draft is so important for this race. As we see everyone taking their time and trying to figure out who they want to work with when they want to work with it. Because right now is not the time to go. Everyone can kind of agree and come to a complete consensus, it looks like. Hey Carson, what do you think we crank it up a little bit and do some quick time motorsport media speed shots?
I say let's get loud, Brett.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, some sweet stuff out of there for these camera works, gotta think. Track 22 for these awesome shots here tonight. As we go back up to the front, Eric Papanow continues to lead the way. Now we got John Kane up on the high side being pushed by Andrew Purr. Let's see if they have anything to rival this inside line of Eric Papanow and Dan Parmalee.
Yeah, it looks like that high line reformed, Brett. Andrew stayed out there and John Kane dropped back to him, and now they've been able to gain one more and push to the front.
Yeah, Carson, I agree. It definitely looks pretty good for this high line as it starts to form up here as we approach halfway in this race. As Eric Papanow crosses the line here, we see cross flags out of the flagman. Halfway down, halfway to go in the season opener here at Daytona. We'll run through the running order as of right now. Eric Papanow continues to lead the way on that bottom line. In second place right now, we got John Kane up 13 positions, but still not the biggest mover of the race. Third place, we got Dan Parmalee in the 710. Fourth, we got Andrew Burr in the 223. Fifth place is Adam Smith in the 974. Sixth place is Mike Witt in the 26. Seventh is Skip Gandy in the 20. Eighth place is Jamie Beasley in the 4. He is the biggest mover of the race, up 18th position. Ninth is John Sinu in the 86. And rounding out your top 10 is the 24 of Richard Pruitt right there at the top of your screen. So a pretty good top 10 as we see two distinct groups now definitely forming, with Eric Papanow leading this group and then Dave Payton in the 38 K&M machine, the pole sitter, leading the second group, just kind of riding on around. Looks like we have one car with maybe a little bit of technical difficulties getting out of the way of everyone. Hopefully that clears on up for him. As folks,
I was going to say that second group has some strong contenders in it. Those guys will definitely be making a run here toward the end.
Yep, I agree, as we got an onboard shot there from Dave Payne looking ahead, as that looked like a big gap, but with speeds this high, Carson, it takes a while to slow these cars down. So if there was a wreck, I don't think even Dave Payne could get that car wound up in time, but now he is catching that group in front of him.
And is it strategically, are these guys trying to stay at a certain speed to not get too close to the group ahead of them?
Yep, I think they're definitely not going full throttle, Carson. One, to save some fuel so they can pit later and pit in the same strategy. But yeah, also two, trying to manage that gap so that they don't catch the field in front of them and be involved if a wreck does happen. As we see John Cena once again jumping out of line. I think he's dropping to the back again, joining that second group to just ride around in this race. So John Kane continues to lead this top line. Eric Papanow still the leader of this bottom line and the race leader.
And it's so strange for me to see, Brett, but in that case, slowing down, it seems like it is the right call to just drop back and stay with the other field, waiting to see what happens at the front, see if there's a wreck and see if they can capitalize on it.
Yep, as we see John DeMeester once again drop to this inside, let the field go on by. So awesome job there by John. Very much appreciated, I bet, by all these racers out here today in this field. As Carson, when do you think it starts to become go time? We're already lap 45 of 80. I think for sure by lap 70 it's go time. How much earlier do you want to go? As we see, now we get the 5 car of Nathan Goot here staying high for this pack.
I think we could see a push from some of these drivers around lap 60. I think that backpack probably will wait until later because there are some faster drivers in there. But I think guys toward the middle of the field, or toward the back side of this first pack, will probably be making the moves the earliest.
Yeah, I agree. As I believe with pitting that early, Carson, I believe there is another pit stop to come in these cars. I could be mistaken. I forgot to do 100% fuel calculation just before the race, but as we see them coming up on a lap car here. Not sure who that is, but they get down out of the way for this field. Carson, you pick a driver we should talk about here. Maybe give them a little bit of screen time. Anyone we haven't talked about too much?
I think a good driver to talk about would be someone who we haven't really mentioned at all here tonight, who's made a big move as well. And maybe we could talk about the guy in front of him. I think the 24 and the 4 car, Jamie Beasley and Richard Pruitt, we haven't talked about them tonight. They both made big moves and are right here at the tail end of this front pack.
Yeah, I agree, Carson. Maybe we'll talk about Jamie Beasley here first. So we'll pull up some info for the fans at home. We got Jamie Beasley in this 4 car here. ASRC Tagare Sportsman Series driver from Stanford. Forget which Carolina it is. But he's got some sponsorship on that car. We see, of course, Caterpillar on there. Mountain Dew, PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, all sponsors of that 4 car here. His favorite real-life racing is Darlington and Martinsville. Always a good combo. His favorite real-life driver, Carson, fitting with the number, is Kevin Harvick. So pretty cool to see that, as I believe his picture there is him with Kevin Harvick. So pretty sweet to see that for Jamie Beasley there. And his goals for this season is to be more competitive and get some top 5 and maybe even a win. So he's knocking on the door of a top 5 right now. Let's see if he can continue that for this 14 here tonight. As almost contact with John Kane there. That was a close call.
Now I wonder, Brett, if he's a Kevin Harvick fan, do you think he likes Chase Elliott?
I don't believe so. I think I could see how that he may not be the biggest fan of him. Maybe that calmed down a little bit with the season ending, but yeah, those two had some incidents there, especially towards the end of last season. As we see here, Andrew Bird leading the way once again here. So that 223 car looks pretty fast here. We'll have to see how he does in these last 30 laps here 50 laps down, 30 to go here in the ASRC Sportsman Series opener, presented by Tagare Property Management. Once again, we'll go ahead and maybe this time we'll go on board with Dan Parmley, see what he's seeing out here for this Tagare onboard shot for this 710 machine. As you can see, pretty flat out. He can't push the 43 as the 43 is the pusher car for the leader, so he has to make sure he keeps a little bit of gap to that bumper, but the closer he gets, the faster those cars go in front of him. So as you hear him playing with the throttle there, getting off the throttle to make sure he doesn't hit the bumper of the 43, but closes the gap to try and push that 43 car forward. So pretty cool stuff here. See how crazy it gets with cars starting to slide back and forth on the track as you see Eric Papineau maybe get a hint of that apron there. As we once again get John DeMeester up on the high lane here, looks like most of the cars will be able to go around, so as we go back here and see. So it looks like most of the field is single filed out. It looks like one big line of cars, no real packs formed anymore. So the question now becomes, when do you go? When do you start pushing hard?
It looks like Justin Callahan to the outside of Richard Pruitt is trying to get someone to come with him. It looks like he did get someone to join him.
Yeah, it looks like Garrett Austin in the 81 will also go to the top side. We'll see how long they stay up there, if they slap back down, and maybe he just tries to piggyback cars one at a time.
As Brett, just like Jamie Beasley, Richard Pruitt also sporting the number of his favorite driver, Jeff Gordon guy, number 24.
Yep, and I believe a current Chase Elliott fan, so we'll have to I wonder how on race day if there's some bad blood between Jamie and Richard. As we look here, 3 cars so far forming up on the top side. We'll have to see how many more decide to join in as we click over to 26 laps to go in this race. As I hear someone calling out, I believe it was the 20 car Skip Gandy that he will be pitting this time, so we'll have to see how that looks as we do get one lapper of, looks like, Nathan Henry on the top side. So looks like we might have some green flag pit stops here, Carson.
Yeah, it as well looks like Dan Parmley and Jamie Beasley also. Looks like more than them as well.
As John Kane almost makes contact.
Oh!
As with some contact there, looks like Justin Callahan gets hit. I was going to say John Kane almost hit Mike Witt, but I believe Justin Callahan did get hit in the rear, as it looks like he has a little bit of right rear damage. So that's the one thing with green flag pit stops, is it can get pretty hectic pretty quickly here. As it looks like some problems for the 710 of Dan Parmley, not in the box right, so that will slow him down a lot as he still tries to get it going. He'll lose the draft here and be way out to lunch in his own zip code. as we already got cars of Eric Papinel way out in front of everyone else. So he'll be a sitting duck when these guys get going in line and up to speed. As we see Dan Parmley still on pits, finally rolling on out by his lonesome. As we see the field coming up there behind him. Dave Payne is the race leader currently, and Carson, like I said, that second group I think was able to save a little bit more fuel and now will come down on their own. Probably this time by, if I had to guess.
Yeah, the pit stops there for that first group went about as bad as they could have, so we could definitely see the second group benefit from that.
Yep, as no yellow flag did come out for any of those incidents, as we almost had one down the backstretch. These guys had to take a little bit of evasive action and go to the inside of John Sinu there, as we see everyone coming on down pit road for the rest of the field here. We'll see if everyone gets a woed on up. It's Dave Payne loose. I think he made pit road speed. We'll have to see if he got a penalty, as those guys were pushing it to get down pit road. And that will hand over the race lead to Cody Green in the 22. So Cody Green is the race leader, but once he cycles on out, Eric Papinel will be the race leader, but has some cars formed up there behind him. As we'll look to Eric Papinel, 3 cars there behind him. Mike Witt, Skip Gandy, and John Kane all formed up, so these guys will probably be blown by Eric Papinel here. As actually they slow on up and decide to push him, so maybe some teammates working together or some kind hearts there, but Mike Witt could have easily taken the race lead from Eric Papinel there. As Andrew Payne is still on pit road, Carson. Maybe you could get an update from that, but that's a bummer to see him still on pit road. As we see here, once pit stop cycle on out, Kyle Munson will be the race leader with Tanner Tallarico behind him, and about a 2-second gap to the guys that pitted at first. As these guys will go around Kyle Munson and leave him out to dry.
As Brett, I think you can say this race got real interesting real fast.
Yeah, it was a big shakeup throughout this field, as if you struggled at all during pit stops, you lost the draft and lost the field. As now we only got about, I want to say, 10 to 15 cars in this first pack now. With them lapping Andrew Payne there, he will be the first car a lap down, so a terrible pit stop for them. It looked, he had to have got a penalty or something to be sitting on pit road that long, so a heartbreak for this 93 car. He's got to hope for a yellow and get that lucky dog. As it looks like 13 cars in this first pack here. Then about 8 seconds back is the second pack of 3 cars. Then 12 seconds back of them, we got a pack of 2 cars. So this field has gotten strung out very quickly here with 20 laps to go in this race.
So, Brad, I think the first green flag pit stops of the year were maybe the most wild we've ever seen here at ASRC.
Yep, I agree. It can be pretty sketchy there at Daytona with braking, especially on old tires. As we look to the front division and overall champion of last season, as we ride on board with him, Tanner Tallarico leads the way in this field. Being pushed by the 051 of Ron Hart. And then Tim Rogers in third. Fourth place is Kyle Munson, the blue division champion last season, got moved up to the red division for this season. Fifth place is Eric Papinel, was out front a lot this race. Let's see what he has in store here. Sixth place is John Kane in the 29, currently leading the blue division. The only car the only blue division car in this front pack, Carson. So John Kane's hoping for no yellow flag. As actually, I may be mistaken. I think maybe Andrew Burr might be in the blue division. I think maybe our producer might have got that a little bit wrong. We'll have to double check with that. As we have Andrew Burr also in this group. 7th place is Dave Payne in the 38th. 8th place, 9th place is Mike Witt in the 26th. And rounding out your top 10 is Skip Gandy in that Carson.
So now, Brett, I see an interesting development here with Andrew Payne on the high line. If he's able to get back to the pole and then a caution comes out, would he get his lap back because he's in front of the field?
Yep, he would get his lap back and not have to be a lucky dog. As whoa, one lapper almost came back up on track. A lot of cars had to make some evasive maneuvers there, and that's going to break up this inside line. Put the momentum to the top side, so we may see John Kane be able to clear Tanner Tallarico here. As just doesn't clear him going into 3, so we'll have to see how that works on out. But this top side starting to get some more cars, Carson. They might say it's around go time, especially once we get closer to 15, if not 10 laps to go. We did have our closest photo finish last season actually at Iowa Motor Speedway between Tanner Tallarico and Ron Hart. Will we maybe see a repeat of that with another photo finish between the two, but this time at a super speedway? We will find out in 17 laps or less.
Yeah, I know those two guys with Tanner Tallarico, Ron Hart, they definitely wouldn't mind duplicating that one too, but maybe flip the script and have Ron come out on top this time.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ron would love to get a win in this series.
I know they're friends, Brett, but sometimes that can get thrown out the window at the end of a race when you're pushing to try to get your first win. So we'll have to see if he makes an aggressive move on Tanner's first win.
Yep, as we go with the last onboard shot of the race, we'll go to Dave Payne in his 38 car. We'll go to his roof cam and see how crazy this high side looks here for a lap or two. As he has Andrew Burr in front of him pushing John Kane.
Do you think that high line, Brett, needs some more cars up there to be more competitive with these guys on the bottom?
I think so, Carson. And I think it really will take a good aggressive pusher to push this high line forward. So we'll have to see if they can get this momentum wound up, as they are making ground a little bit on these inside guys. But the inside line will pull ahead, especially in these corners.
Yeah, it looks like we got the 24 machine up for Pruitt going up to the high line to help push. See if there will be anyone else to jump out there. I'm sure we'll see it, as just as I say that, number 26 of Mike Witt is going to the high line as well. Now, Brett, this high line has the numbers, so we'll have to see if they can make a run with here they come trying to catch up with Tanner.
Yep, they have gotten the numbers now, so now we'll see how good of a pusher Andrew Burr is, how good of a leader John Kane is. See if they got anything for Tanner Tallarico and Ron Hart on that inside line. And if you can see down track in the distance, we got lap cars coming, Carson. Always makes for an interesting time, especially this late in the race.
Yeah, speaking of nerves and anxiety, that'll get your blood pumping.
That it will. John Kane almost gets the wall coming out of that corner. Now we'll have to see them file on down here as John DeMeester and Nathan Henry will stay to the top side.
Brad, it's interesting. This high line just keeps like now they're really losing speed, but it's kept seeming like they're kept getting close and close and just can never get side by side with Tanner or pass around hard.
Yeah, as those lap cars really broke up that line, so we'll have to see how they can come back from that and how they reform as Andrew Payne and Eric Papanow now jump to the high side. We'll see if anyone else decides to jump with them.
Now I wonder if Eric Papanow knows that Andrew Payne is a lap down.
Oh, hands down he does. I think that's why he's working with him, because if he can push Andrew to the front and clear himself with it, that moves Eric Papanow to the race lead.
True, Brad. As long as even if he pushes Andrew to the front and gets him around Tanner, as long as he gets around Tanner as well, he'll be the leader. The dynamic of having a lap car up here is really making things a bit hard to follow, but...
Yep, that's just Daytona plate racing here. As we see them cross the line here, 10 laps to go in this race. 70 down, 10 to go. And Carson, this is where the gloves come off. People stop lifting. People really start trying to figure out who they want to work with and what kind of moves they can make.
Oh yeah, Brett, this is when the time when it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. We'll definitely see people pushing as hard as they can, maybe shooting for gaps that aren't quite there, and we'll have to see how it works out for them.
Yeah, definitely no more Mr. Nice Guy from this point, but maybe not as hard as they can, as these cars do overheat and you can expire motor within 3 laps of non-stop pushing. So they will have to keep an eye on their water and oil temp gauges as this race goes on. But once they get in that 3 lap to go, for sure they stop looking at the gauges and give it all they got.
I just mean, Brad, we'll probably see guys shooting for gaps that aren't quite there. I know that's a typical move at the end of a super speedway race.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be people doing that here, especially in these closing laps. As we see John Kane actually losing the draft here, so a bummer, heartbreak for this 29 car after being so strong and dominant. But even with him losing the draft, Carson, he still may be leading the blue division, unless Andrew Burr is in the blue division.
And man, Brett, look at Eric Papanow pushing. He is a great pusher on that high side, pushing Andrew all the way up side by side with Tanner Tallarico.
Yeah, as he hits the left rear of Andrew, gets him a little loose there. Luckily, Andrew can save it, but that was almost a bad bump there. We were just giving him praise for his bumping. That could have turned.
Cue. Yeah, right on cue, and announcer's jinx by me.
As they will now need to regroup, regain their momentum, and try and give it another attack here. But everyone's starting to run out of time here.
As the bottom line, Brett, really falling apart. Here comes Andrew up high with Papanow pushing him, and Andrew will clear.
So now that only moves down. Oh!
Ooh,
Eric
neck
Papanow
code.
got loose there or something. And
Yeah,
door
it might have been
slam.
neck code.
Door slam the one car of Tanner Tallarico. So now both those cars will probably have damage. We'll have to see how that affects it. And that really breaks up the outside line, as people thought they might have to make some evasive maneuvers. So now Tanner Tallarico does not need to jump out of line. All he needs to do is push this 93 car and make sure no one passes him on this high side. And the one car will win this race from second out on track.
Yeah, Brett, man, that could have been big right there if those guys didn't get it under control and save it. That was some great driving by Eric and everyone else around him to keep this going green.
That is very true, Carson. As now Richard Pruitt will need to be the pusher for Eric Papanow. But it looks like they can't quite get synced up here, so that's going to hurt this outside line. As we come by, Flagman, 5 fingers showing 5 laps to go here in this race.
Man, Brett, my blood is pumping. I'm not even out there. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is where it really gets intense, Carson. I feel mine raising here. Because this is where it gets crazy. As we see cars jostling back and forth, getting pushed, just trying to get everything out of them here. As we come to 4 laps to go. As Tim Rogers gets on the apron, gets it sideways, but keeps it going the right direction. That will hurt the inside line. Now there will only be 3 cars on this inside line.
And this could be a really weird finish, Brett, if Andrew goes ahead and wins but doesn't win because he's a lap down. I'm not sure if we've ever seen anything like that in ASRC.
Yeah. For sure not in ASRC, and I don't know how often it even happens elsewhere, because this will be a weird one. And the next question becomes, does Andrew Payne block any lanes, or does he just stay on the bottom and hope for the best?
And the thing is, too, Andrew's definitely got something to race for, because he's trying to stay from being a lap down and being that last car in the lead lap. That'll definitely, or could definitely help him at the end of the season for a point standpoint, because we saw last year that every point mattered.
Yep, as right now he is not the car a lap down. He is currently on the lead lap, but by a couple thousandths of a second. As we get 3 laps to go, Carson, we'll see if this high line has anything to offer. See if Ron Hart maybe jumps high, or anyone else of that liking.
I don't know, Brad. I think we would need someone to jump out in front of Papanow, because he does seem like a better pusher on the outside. So maybe if someone jumps up there, they could give him a real shot. As Papanow gets into Ron Hart.
And Ron Hart saves that thing. I don't know how he saved that in the corner on the apron. Very Kyle Busch-esque. So awesome save by Ron Hart, but that kills that inside line. So that'll put Tanner Tallarico in his own zip code, but that'll put Eric Papanow in the way to go. So this high line should be interesting to see how they form on up.
Do you think Andrew was trying to intimidate Ron there? Oh, no!
As more contact, and finally no yellow flag yet as they continue to wreck. As some hard hits down this backstretch. As we see the likes of Tanner Tallarico, Kyle Munson, Tim Rogers, Eric Papanow, all involved there. But they keep it going the right direction for the most part. And we'll have white flag this time by. Richard Pruitt will lead us to the white flag. Let's see what can happen here. As we have 5 cars broken away from this field. We have Richard Pruitt, Chris Harvey, Mike Witt, Andrew Burr, and Dave Payton all right here.
And man, bro, I was just talking about Richard Pruitt and how he's made a big move tonight. This could be his golden moment.
Yep, all these guys will be first-time overall winners except for Chris Harvey. Let's see what they decide to do going down the backstretch for the final time. Oh, Andrew Burr goes around. Oh, collects Dave Payne. Richard Pruitt just has to hold off Chris Harvey here coming to the checkered, and he wins his first ASRC race. Richard Pruitt wins the season opener in the 24 Pepsi car. Chris Harvey,
that, Brett?
I cannot. Holy smokes. Chris Harvey brings it home second, and somehow, after all the carnage, Tanner Tallarico brings it home third. Holy smokes, Carson.
And Chris Harvey too, Brett. We were talking about him, how he saves his car for a run at the end, all the way up to second. It paid off.
Yeah, it did. Holy smokes. What a finish. What a way to end this. These super speedway races never disappoint, and I can't wait to interview Richard Pruitt after this, because he has got to be jumping off the wall. Finally got his first ever official win this week, and now gets his first ever ASRC win. As we'll look to the 24 car to do some burnouts here.
Because we got some extracurriculars after the race as well.
Yeah, as these guys continue to celebrate. We'll be right back here to interview all these drivers. As we see here, Chris Harvey and Richard Pruitt doing burnouts together with that tag team getting the win. So cool to see some teammates getting it done here tonight. As we continue to get the interviews ready, we'll go to commercial.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, John, you got a copy? It's Brett and Carson in the booth.
I got you guys.
Alrighty, man. So awesome race here tonight. I know you got left out of that draft there with about 10 laps to go or so, but still managed to bring this thing home in the top 10. But most importantly, you won the blue division here tonight. How'd you do it, and what was that craziness there like at the end?
Man, I was just trying to hang with everybody and not get wrecked. When we got around to Meister there, I lost the draft, and I just couldn't get it back, and everyone just pulled away. But still happy with the finish. It was a good race.
Yeah, I agree. Was a crazy one there at the end with everything going on. So, John, looking forward to the season with you. Currently the blue division points leader. Any goals or aspirations here looking to this long 20 race season?
Well, I'm hoping to keep it in the top 10 overall and hopefully take the blue division championship.
Alrighty, that's what we like to hear. Check both those boxes here tonight with the top 10 and the overall points leader for the blue division. So, John, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank or give a shout-out to for this 29 team?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone at ASRC for everything they do. It's a great series. Have a lot of fun. Tagare for sponsoring this series. They're doing a great job. And just everyone involved, man. It's a lot of work for you guys, but you guys do a great job.
Alrighty, thanks, John. Well, look forward to talking to you here more for these blue divisions. I think you got a pretty good shot at it, and look forward to see how you do throughout the season. So best of luck to you, and congratulations here on this blue division win.
Hey, thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Alrighty, folks. That was our blue division winner, but our 10th place overall finisher, John Kane. Now we'll get Tanner Tallarico here in the booth, our 3rd place finisher out on track. Tanner, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys. What's going on, Brett? Carson, how are you?
Alrighty. How was the car, and what was that finish like there? I saw you get in that wreck early on, and but still able to make it happen.
Yeah, that was a wild one there. Early on in the race, I started in the back because I knew we were having a competition yellow and not running for points this year. I didn't really have a whole lot to lose, so I just figured I would go back there, and I haven't done a whole lot of super speedway racing in quite a while, so just kind of knocking the rust off. And then, yeah, I got through a couple kind of hairy situations there. Didn't get any damage on the car or anything like that, so right there at the end when we kind of got all bottled up off turn 2. But, man, I think I'm more happy for Richard Pruitt than I am anything else. That was amazing to see him finally get that win. I know he's been waiting a long ass time to finally get one of these things, and we were screaming in the admin chat, and that's just cool to see. I was down there talking to him right now. I think you guys might have a hard time interviewing him because he's at a pretty big loss for words right now.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what he has to say because I bet he's jumping off the wall with this win. So I can't wait to interview him here. But Tanner, I heard you're running part-time. You won the championship last season. What's the goals for this one team when you decide to show on up?
Well, yeah, we got the championship last season, and being a part of the league and being an admin in the league, running full-time and stuff just doesn't really give me ample time to fully concentrate on the administrative side of things for the league. And I kind of want to get back to that. I've been on iRacing for a long time now and been able to do a lot of cool stuff and feel really fortunate to be able to do that. But kind of trying to change, I guess, iRacing career path just a little bit. I'll always be doing some driving stuff here and there, but just want to really make sure that I'm sinking my feet deep into the admin side of things here for ASRC and making it as good as I possibly can. So if that means I'm only running 10, 12 races a season, that's totally fine. It's always a blast to be able to come race with these guys regardless. So yeah, that's the plan right now. Just trying to make sure that I'm steering myself in the right direction league-wise, and we'll come out here and just try to have good runs. All in all, I don't really want to set a number expectation or a finishing expectation or anything like that for the season. I just want to come out and have a good time with everybody and see the league grow and have all of our members have a good time.
Alrighty, Tanner. Well, before we let you go, looks like this one car stickered all up here. I'm sure you got to give a shout out to, got to thank some people for this one team before we let you go.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, QuickTime Motorsports Media, and then my new friends over at Pool Huff Esports, Brennan Poole and Quinn Huff, and Ashton that's over there, Kenny, everybody that's over there with those guys. We've grown to be pretty good friends over the last couple months or so, and like I said a minute ago, don't really know 100% sure what's going to go on iRacing career related, but it's always nice to have a couple really good groups of guys to be around, and they're definitely one of them. Yeah, that's the majority of it. I do want to give a big shout out as always to you and Carson for putting this on. Congrats on your big promotion to turn 3. That's awesome. And all of our league members here, all of our league sponsors, Tagare, as well as Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, all the brands. This is a new season of the Sportsman Xfinity Series is looking like it's going to be a pretty good one, and hopefully we can carry the excitement that we had tonight throughout the whole season.
Alrighty, awesome, Tanner. Well, hopefully you can keep up the good runs. I know you'll be fighting for wins whenever we see that one car out on track, so I can't wait to go celebrate it down with Pruitt, because that's going to be a crazy one here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, guys, and go Dogs.
Alrighty, there was Tanner Tallarico, our 3rd place finisher. Now we'll talk to our 2nd place finisher and the guy that pushed home Richard Pruitt to the win, Chris Harvey. Chris, you got a copy? It's Brett and Carson in the booth.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, Chris. So a pretty crazy race there, especially at the end, and you pushed Richard Pruitt to his first ASRC win. What was going through your mind through those last couple laps, and how'd you avoid those wrecks?
Well, I told the boys, Mike Witt and Richard, I was going to wait until about 7 to go or something. I would find their back bumper, hopefully. And everybody started pushing. And I just got up there on the outside line. There was literally nowhere to go. And then all of a sudden the seas parted. I found Pruitt's bumper, and I was screaming on the Discord or on the TeamSpeak. I'm like, I'm not coming off your bumper, Richard. I'm not coming off your bumper. And so him and Witt were kind of like traffic control, making sure Pruitt can get his first win. He did a great job on that. So really, really happy for him to get a W.
Awesome, Chris. Well, it's been a good first race for you and seems like the Ironman Motorsports team. So what's the goals looking like throughout the season? I know we got a long 20 race schedule ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm looking to run the full schedule this year. Last season I was just part-time, but this year I'm going to go with the full schedule and really just hoping to knock off top 10s. If I can sneak a win, I'll be happy, but really just top 10s. It's a really, really competitive league. A lot of guys I've been racing with for quite a while now, a couple of years, and they're pretty good. So top 10s I'm really happy with. Starting the season with Ironman Motorsports up front, that's really cool. These guys are a lot of fun to race with, so really happy with second, and not sure where we go next week, but just the goal is going to be top 10s all year long.
There we go. That's what we like to hear, Chris, because yeah, those top 10s will most likely get you in the playoffs, and then that's where you really got to go hard and give it your all. But yeah, congratulations, Chris. Before we let you go, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank and give a shout out to.
Yeah, I want to thank Tagare Property Management for sponsoring the series. Obviously, Turn 3 Network, you do a great job. You're a hot shot now, I hear, so that's awesome to see. American Sim Racing Club is a great place to race. I'd like to thank my teammates. We had a plan and we actually executed it, so that's fun. Also, I'd like to thank Uncle Russ, crew chief, texting me all race, telling me how I'm doing. He's always tuning in, and it's a lot of fun to hang out with him through iRacing. So other than that, I also want to shout out my favorite driver, David Payton. I don't know where he went at the end, but I was hoping to find his bumper too. But that's pretty much it. And congrats to Pruitt for his first win. That's really, really cool.
Alrighty, Chris. Yeah, hopefully we can see some more good races out of this 93 car, or 97, excuse me. We always love to say you're the closer of ASRC. Most races you'll hang out somewhere kind of, and then at the end you're all of a sudden there in contention. So congratulations, Chris, and I'm sure we'll talk to you here in the future.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, Carson. That was our second place finisher. Now we'll go down to victory lane and talk to the man of the hour, Richard Pruitt. Hey, Richard, you got a copy? It's Brett and Carson in the booth.
Yeah, I got a copy. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I was making sure you're still alive and didn't have a heart attack after that win. Man, buddy.
Pretty close.
What happened? How'd that happen? How'd you come away with the win? That's awesome.
I have no idea. I got to go back and see the replay, but I was just behind Paps. He won it last year, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was just gonna push him, and I just saw him veer off to the left. So I guess somebody got out of shape and collected him, and I went high, and there was nobody in front of me. And fortunately for me, I had teammates, Chris Harvey and Mike Witt behind me, and they were pushing and blocking for me and screaming at me on the radio and telling me what to do. And this is surreal. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that is awesome. For your first ASRC win to come after you get promoted to the Red Division, I'm sure that was a big promotion there, and then to come home and win it with that, how's it feel?
Man, it feels awesome. I just first and foremost got to thank God for blessing me with this opportunity. It's it's been a rough couple of years for me, but I've been on iRacing close to 2 years now, and I just got my first official win in NASCAR on Friday at Rockingham, and I'm riding cloud nine because first ASRC win. This is awesome, and got to thank Tagare and Pepsi and Frito-Lay's and all of our great sponsors and all the admins for everything they've coached me on over the past couple of years and made me a better driver, and my teammates Mike Witt, Chris Harvey, Jamie Beasley, and everybody over there at Papano's team. And you guys are all awesome.
Yeah, man, to get the win done and on Turn 3 Racing Network, everyone's going to be watching this, and what a crazy race, especially at Daytona. So that's awesome for you. So glad. I know you won that race earlier this week, and then to do it here again, man, that's awesome to hear. I'm so glad for you.
Yeah, man, I'm going to Vegas now, man.
Yeah, hopefully you still got 3 strikes of luck in you, because you already used up 2, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to go play some slots and go wing big out there for one big last hurrah.
Yeah, thanks for everything you guys do in the booth, and thanks for Turn 3 for having us on prime time tonight.
Yeah, we got promoted to Fox Sport, or Fox instead of FS1. So yeah, it's super excited. It's very, very awesome, and you guys put on a great show. So all around, awesome job by everyone.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch it, man. It was an awesome night and a great race.
Yep, Richard, I know you thanked a lot of people. Anyone else you maybe forgot before he let you go and celebrate it down in Victory Lane?
Well, I got to thank my mom because I'm sure she's pretty ticked off at me for all the screaming I've done the past couple of minutes. But love you, Mom, and yeah, just thanks everybody.
Alrighty, it does sound like you're losing your voice, so I'll let you get back to celebrate down in Victory Lane, and we'll be sure to join you here once we wrap up in the booth here.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, no problem. And once again, big congratulations on this win. That's awesome. So, Carson, that was our race winner, Richard Pruitt, getting it done for his first ASRC win here. And, man, it must mean a lot because you could hear it in his voice. He didn't have any energy left after he celebrated that big time.
Yeah, bro. Like you said, 2 years. He got that big win last week. I know he's also stoked to be in the fantasy champion, but that's against the point. I mean, tonight, with how he drove through the field, like I said, him and Chris Harvey both coming from 22nd, 23rd, finished 1-2, and that win for him. First one in ASRC, that's awesome. Shout out to those guys. I know how much it means to them, and that's what ASRC is all about. What a way to start the season.
I agree, Carson. Starting it off with a bang here at Daytona under the lights. As now we'll go through the race results. The race winner, Richard Pruitt for Ironman Motorsports in the 24 car. Second place was Chris Harvey in the 97. Third place was Tanner Tallarico in the 1. Coming in fourth was Ron Hart in the 051. And rounding out your top 5 was Skip Gandy in the 20.
Then in 6th place was the 26 car of Mike Witt. In 7th place, the pole sitter 38 machine of Dave Payton. In 8th place was the 48 car of Tim Rogers, who I guess sporting a new number this year. In 9th place was the 223 of Andrew Burr. And then rounding out your top 10, the best finishing Blue Division driver was the 29 car of John Kang.
Bringing it home, 11th was Kyle Munson in the 28. 12th was Eric Papineau in the 43. 13th was John Sinu in the 86. 14th was Cody Green in the 22. 15th was Justin Callahan in the 75 machine.
And then in 16th place was the Ford car of Jamie Beasley. In 17th place was the 710 of Dan Parmalee. In 18th place was the 974 of Adam Smith. In 19th place, who ended up being the first car lap down, we saw him a lot at the end, the 93 car of Andrew Payne. And then rounding out the top 20 was the 81 machine of Garrett Austin.
Bringing it home, 21st was Nathan Henry in the 59. 22nd was John DeMeester in the 2. 23rd was Brad Pranger in the 151. 24th was Nathan Goot in the 5. 25th was Rex Hoyle in the 54. 26th was Brian Rainville in the 955. 27th was Carlos Deitch in the 10. And bringing it home last of the field was Alan Duranko in the 109. So Carson, a crazy way to start the season. I'm excited to see how everything shakes on out. Race number 1 in the books. Of course, the super speedway, so it's going to be crazy, but we see a lot of red division drivers in the front of this leaderboards. I wonder if that trend will continue throughout this season.
Yeah, Brett. New faces, old faces. Got some new names for us to learn, but man, with how awesome last year's season was, how it came down to the final race, I'm sure we can expect more exciting and great finishes like we saw tonight for the rest of the year.
I agree, Carson. Well, of course, while we wrap it up, there's, of course, a bunch of people that we got to thank. First and foremost, of course, ASRC for letting us broadcast it, bringing out these great racers here tonight. Looking forward to this 20-week schedule. Of course, Tagare Property Management for being the title sponsor of the series. Got to give a big shout out to them. If you're looking for any sort of property in the Carolinas area, be sure to hit up Tagare and check them on out. If you're interested in racing with these guys, check out American Sim Racing Club on Facebook and the website as well. Of course, Carson, got to thank you for coming in with the booth with the Brett the Jet Productions. It's always a good time to have you.
Yeah, Brett, thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yep, got to give a final shout out to all the viewers that stuck this out, anyone that viewed, anyone rewatching it. Thank you guys all so much. If you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. And got to give a big shout out to Turn 3 with all the guys and everything they put on. It's a blast to be here, and I can't wait to see where this continues to go. So everyone, have a good night, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time. Just flew by you.
Have a good night, everyone.